Imagine this. It's 2 a.m. Your chest feels tight. Your mind is loud. Everything in your life feels out of control. And instead of talking to someone or crying or sleeping, you're suddenly standing in your room, picking up clothes from the floor, wiping off dust from the shelves, rearranging items that already looked fine. Almost like your hands decided to clean before your brain even formed the thought. But why? Why do some people clean their room only when their mind feels loud? Why does your brain suddenly crave order when your life feels chaotic? Why does a messy room start looking like an emotional enemy you need to defeat right now? Your brain is trying to survive in the only way it knows. If you do this, you're not weird. You're not overreacting. You're not avoiding your problems. You are doing something your mind has learned to do to protect you. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your room or your emotions the same way again. Your brain cleans before your emotions catch up. Neuroscientists call this an automatic regulation response. When your mind is overwhelmed by stress, sadness, loneliness, heartbreak, frustration, your emotions go into overload mode. You can't think your way out, so your brain switches to something it can control: your environment. Your brain can't fix your relationships. It can't fix the pain in your chest. It can't fix your future. It can't fix your identity crisis. It can't fix the pressure you're carrying, but it can fix the position of a chair. It can fold clothes. It can wipe a table. It can create order in a 12 by 12 room when the rest of your life feels too big to handle. Your room becomes the only battlefield your mind feels strong enough to win. Some children grow up in homes where emotional chaos was normal. Fights, unpredictability, shouting, silence that felt heavier than shouting, walking on eggshells, never knowing what mood the house would explode into. And in that chaos, one thing a child could control was the little space that belonged to them. Maybe it was a bed, a drawer, a corner. Not much, but it was theirs. So as adults, when life feels emotionally messy, their brain returns to the one thing that once made them feel safe: cleaning their space. This isn't just cleaning. This is childhood survival being replayed in adulthood. People always say, "Why are you cleaning? Just relax. You're avoiding the real issue. You're such a neat freak." But the truth is, when someone cleans while hurting, it's not avoidance. It's emotional CPR. Your brain searches for stability. Your hands respond. You're not cleaning because you want the room clean. You're cleaning because you want to feel like something in your world still listens to you. Because your emotions don't, your thoughts don't, life doesn't, but a messy desk does. You move it, it listens. You wipe it, it obeys. You organize it, it respects your control. And for a hurting mind, that tiny moment of respect means everything. You ever notice this? You finish cleaning, and suddenly your body feels lighter, your thoughts are calmer, and your chest isn't as tight. It's not the cleaning. It's the illusion of control turning into real emotional grounding. Psychologists call it micro-stabilization. It means you can't fix everything today, but you fix something. That tiny win breaks your brain out of emotional paralysis. You breathe better. You think clearer. You feel more human again. Mess around with your emotions long enough, and your brain starts showing physical symptoms: fatigue, irritability, emotional numbness, helplessness, confusion, burnout. Your room becomes the physical version of your internal emotional clutter. So when you clean it, your brain feels like you're decluttering your thoughts too. Your mind wants symbolic relief. When you throw out trash, your brain feels like it's throwing out anxiety. When you fold clothes, your brain feels like it's folding chaos into order. When you scrub a surface, your brain feels like it's scrubbing emotional noise away. It's poetic. It's psychological. It's powerful. People who clean when their mind is messy are often the most emotionally intelligent people in the room. Because instead of exploding, instead of lashing out, instead of saying something hurtful, instead of spiraling, they self-regulate. Cleaning for them isn't chores. It's emotional management. It's grounding. It's calming. It's finding direction in chaos. They know, if I can't control the world, I will control the one space that belongs to me. There's a moment people don't talk about. It's that moment when you stand in the middle of your room, you look around at the mess, and suddenly your chest tightens. Not because the room is messy, but because you are. What you're feeling in that moment is the internal war between two forces: your emotions, which are screaming for help, and your brain, which is desperately trying to protect you. This war has no weapons, no warning, no mercy. The only thing your brain can do to win even one small battle is to force you into action. It doesn't choose crying. It doesn't choose talking. It doesn't choose resting. It chooses something physical because emotions can't eat physical movement alive. So your body moves. You grab things. You sort. You fold. You wipe. You reorganize. This isn't cleaning. This is your brain trying to save you from drowning in your own storm. Some people feel emotions the way others feel temperature. A slight shift, and they notice. A small disappointment, and it sinks deep. A harsh tone, and it hits like a punch. Their minds work like mirrors. Everything reflects stronger, deeper, faster. And because their emotional world is louder than the average person's, their need for external quiet becomes urgent. So they clean, not because they want neatness, but because their sensitivity demands it. A clean room is like a mute button for a loud heart. When the world feels too much, they clean the one place that won't judge them for being sensitive. There's a certain type of person who hates feeling useless. When their emotions spin out of control, they immediately feel like, I need to fix something. Anything. It could be a drawer, a closet, a small shelf that didn't even bother anyone. But the urge is real. This is called a stability impulse, an instinct that surfaces in people who grew up needing to be the responsible one. Maybe they were the eldest child. Maybe they had emotionally unstable parents. Maybe they had to act older than their age. So today, as adults, when they feel emotionally unstable, their brain activates the same old switch. Fix something. Show strength. Create stability. Do not fall apart. And the easiest thing to fix is a messy room. People who clean when they are stressed often don't express their emotions verbally. They're the quiet ones. The calm ones. The ones who say, I'm okay, even when they're breaking inside. Cleaning becomes their language. A deeply cleaned room equals, I'm overwhelmed but I can't tell you. A sudden burst of organizing equals, I'm holding on to myself. Rearranging furniture at midnight equals, I feel emotionally unsafe. Obsessively wiping surfaces equals, I need clarity inside. People assume it's a chore. It's not. It's a message from someone who doesn't know how to ask for help without feeling like a burden. Some people don't just clean their room, they reset it. They fold everything. They empty drawers. They rearrange books. They vacuum the same spot 3 times. They reorganize shelves. They touch every object. Cleaning isn't the goal. Rebirth is. These people feel emotion so deeply that they crave a fresh start every time life feels too heavy. They can't start over emotionally. Emotions don't reset. But objects do. So they reset their environment hoping their heart will follow. The final look of a clean room isn't clean to them. It's new. A new chance. A new feeling. A new beginning. Sometimes the only time people feel strong is when they're cleaning. Not because it's empowering, but because everywhere else in life they feel powerless. No control over relationships. No control over emotions. No control over expectations. No control over the future. But a room? A room listens. You tell it where to move, it moves. You tell it how to look, it listens. You create order, it obeys. This gives the mind a rare moment of victory. A moment where nothing resists you. Nothing argues with you. Nothing disappoints you. This tiny moment of control is enough to keep a hurting person going for another day. People will tell you, stop cleaning and face your problems. You're distracting yourself. You're running away. But they don't understand something essential. Some problems cannot be faced head-on. Some pain needs time. Some emotions need space before they can be understood. Cleaning gives your mind the breathing room it needs to process emotions safely. It's not escape. It's preparation. You're clearing physical space to make room for emotional clarity. You're rebuilding the outside so the inside doesn't collapse. You're stabilizing your body so your mind doesn't drown. This is psychological resilience, not avoidance. When you clean your space during emotional chaos, you're telling yourself, even if silently, I still deserve a place that feels safe. You're not giving up. You're not lost. You're not weak. You are protecting yourself in the only way your mind knows. Cleaning becomes an act of dignity, a quiet rebellion, a form of self-love that doesn't use words. It's your way of saying, I might be broken today, but I'm still someone worth saving. There's a strange moment people miss, a moment that happens before you touch anything, before you start sweeping or folding or wiping. It's the moment your body takes the lead because your heart refuses to speak. You stand silently for a few seconds, breathing a little heavier than usual, looking at nothing and everything at once. Your hands twitch. Your eyes scan. Your mind blanks out for 3 seconds, and then suddenly, you pick up something. That first movement is not a decision. It's not a thought. It's a subconscious defense mechanism that activates when your emotional system hits maximum capacity. Your heart refuses to say, I'm hurting. Your brain refuses to say, I'm overwhelmed. So your body says, fine, I'll take over. This is the psychology of survival expressing itself without words. Childhood environments shape this behavior. Children from chaotic homes learn, if I can't control people, I'll control my space. Children from strict homes learn, cleaning equals safety. Mess equals danger. Children from neglectful homes learn, no one ever created safety for me, so I'll create it for myself. Cleaning becomes self-parenting, self-soothing, self-respect. It becomes the one thing that makes them feel taken care of, even if they're the ones doing the taking care. If you clean when stressed, you've probably felt this. You try to rest, but your mind won't let you. Something feels wrong. Your body feels unsettled. Your chest feels uneasy. It's because your brain reads clutter as unfinished emotional business. It thinks, if the environment isn't okay, I'm not allowed to relax. This isn't your fault. This is a psychological pattern formed from years of internal pressure. Your mind rejects rest until the surroundings match the peace you're trying to find. And when the room finally becomes clean, your brain whispers, now you're allowed to breathe. People who clean when stressed aren't chasing tidiness. They're chasing a fresh internal timeline. A clean room feels like a new chapter, a new beginning, a new version of you, a new mental atmosphere. It's the same reason people cut their hair during heartbreak or rearrange furniture after a life change. They're not changing the environment, they're changing the energy of their mind. Cleaning becomes an emotional ritual. You throw away trash your brain feels like it's letting go. You make your bed your brain feels like it's building stability. You organize your table your brain feels like it's organizing life. You sweep the floor your brain feels like it's clearing mental debris. This is symbolic psychology at work. Your mind heals through movements that represent emotional clarity. Overthinkers clean the most. Overthinking is not just thinking too much. It's thinking without direction. So when an overthinker cleans, their thoughts finally find structure. Fold, narrow the focus. Wipe, remove unnecessary noise. Sort, categorize emotions. Rearrange, reorder priorities. An overthinker's mind is like an overflowing browser with 40 tabs open. Cleaning becomes the force quit button that shuts the system down so it can restart cleanly. Their brain finally has space to breathe. People who clean when their mind is messy often share one hidden belief. No one is coming to save me. Maybe because they grew up solving their own problems. Maybe because they learned not to depend on anyone. Maybe because they were used to being the strong one. Maybe because they never received emotional nurturing. So today, when they feel emotionally messy, they go silent. And they clean. Because cleaning says, I may not be okay, but I can still take care of myself. This is self-reliance disguised as chores. People see a tidy room. They don't see the war you fought to earn it. Some people feel numb when they're emotionally overwhelmed. Not sad, not angry, not hurt, just nothing. Cleaning becomes the spark that brings them back to life. Physical movement wakes the body up. Small victories wake the mind up. Emotional clarity wakes the heart up. By the time the room is clean, these people feel like, I exist again. I feel again. I'm present again. This isn't cleaning. This is resurrection. Your room is not just a room. It's a mirror of the parts of you don't want to deal with emotionally. The pile of closed decisions you're avoiding. The messy desk thoughts you can't organize. The unmade bed rest you're denying yourself. The scattered items emotions you pushed aside. The dust things you've neglected internally. When life feels heavy and your emotions feel loud, your brain tries to clean your internal world by cleaning its reflection, your room. Psychologists call this symbolic alignment. You're not just moving objects. You're moving emotions through objects. You're not just wiping surfaces. You're wiping the fog inside your mind. You're not just folding clothes. You're folding the chaos you've been carrying silently. This is not cleaning. This is emotional archaeology, digging through the physical world to understand the emotional one. There's a personality type that does this more than anyone else. The quiet observer. They feel deeply but express little. They ignore their emotional wounds until the pain becomes overwhelming. And when it reaches that point, their room becomes the emergency exit. Quiet people don't explode outward. They implode inward. They don't scream. They don't slam doors. They don't break things. They clean. Their silence finds comfort in the gentle sound of folding fabric, the soft hum of a vacuum, the rhythm of wiping a table. Cleaning gives quiet people a way to speak without words. Another type is the strong one. These are the people who hold their family together. The ones others lean on. The ones who never break in front of anyone. But when they're alone, when the weight finally hits, they don't collapse. They don't fall apart. They start cleaning. Because the strong one has been trained to believe, I must stay in control. I must hold it together. I must handle everything myself. Cleaning becomes the last piece of strength they can still show, even when their emotions are screaming inside. Even when their heart is begging for help. Cleaning becomes their armor, thin, fragile, temporary, but still armor. There is a point where cleaning stops being grounding and becomes emotional avoidance. This happens when you clean to avoid thinking, crying, confronting someone, breaking down, or facing silence. It becomes a shield against emotional discomfort. Instead of facing the truth, your brain distracts you with movement. And the saddest part is, no one notices. No one understands. No one sees the pain behind the spotless room. People say, oh wow, your space looks so clean. They don't realize you had no place to put your emotions, so you organized your pain into drawers. But cleaning is also one of the purest forms of self-love, especially for people who never received gentleness growing up. When you clean during emotional chaos, you're telling your heart, you still deserve a safe place. Your mind, you still deserve clarity. Your body, you still deserve comfort. Your inner child, I will protect you now, even if no one else ever did. That final moment, when you step back and look at your clean room, feels emotional. Because it's not the room that changed. It's you. Your room